was geht, meine lieben Freunde? Herzlich willkommen zurück zu einem weiteren Reaktionsvideo. Heute, Leute, sorry, ich muss niesen. Heute, Leute, machen wir wieder ein weiteres Reaktionsvideo. Heute reagieren wir auf das Video Rare Items. Ein paar YouTuber haben schon mal auf dieses Video reagiert und ich reagiere heute mal auf dieses Video. Ich glaube, es ist von irgendeinem Spiel, ich weiß aber nicht mehr was. Ich glaube, von irgendeinem Spiel. Ein paar Spiele.
On September 30th, 2010, Valve released an update to their flagship online multiplayer shooter, Team Fortress 2. Nobody realized it at the time, but this update would go on to be so influential that it arguably transformed the core business model of the gaming industry for the following decade. TF2's Manconomy update introduced what was then a radical concept. Players can now purchase cosmetic items through in-game microtransactions, but more importantly, they can now trade those items among themselves. Almost overnight, the update ignited a robust free market economy of virtual items, and no items were more valuable than unusual hats. Valve would go on to make a fortune off of TF2's new trading bonanza, an outcome that would ultimately convince them to make the game free to play less than a year afterwards. And despite the variety of items for sale on TF2's storefront, the bulk of Valve's revenue would come instead from what you couldn't purchase.
Yo, break it down for those crates!
In the very same update, Valve introduced the gaming industry's original loot crate, an unlockable mystery box with a 1% chance of granting the player an unusual hat. Items so comically ostentatious that they would instantly catapult you to the center of attention on any server you joined. Unusuals were desired by all, but obtainable by few. The only way to get your hands on one was to spend hundreds of dollars on boxing or to trade with someone who spent hundreds of dollars on boxing. Naturally, this meant that unusual hats didn't come cheap. The most coveted hats and particle effects started to sell for thousands, and eventually, one item ascended to the holy grail of TF2 trading, the Burning Flames Team Captain, the only TF2 item to consistently sell for 5 figures. Ever since this hat was added, it has reigned supreme as the single most desirable item in the game. Out of the hundreds of millions of items in TF2's economy, only 18 Burning Flames Team Captains exist. If you happen to be in the market of obtaining one, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. Most of you watching are probably recoiling in disgust at how much someone would be willing to pay for a virtual item that you didn't even know existed 20 seconds ago. Why would somebody spend $16,000 on a bunch of worthless pixels? Well, conceptually, unusual hats are nothing new. It turns out that plenty of people are willing to fork over a lot more than 16 grand on items that the rest of us would consider worthless.
Oh, diesen kenne ich. Ich habe vorhin gerade bekommen, ich glaube aus Toy Story oder so. Oh.
A few years after bringing the joy of
Auf jeden Fall war das schon Teil 1. Sorry, dass es so kurz geht. Ich verstehe auch das Video nicht mal so gut.
Crates
Aber
to
ich habe
TF2,
verstanden, dass das
Valve
selbst seit dem Spiel Team Fortress 2 ist. Auf jeden Fall, meine lieben Freunde, wenn das Video heute schon 10 Likes erhält, dann kommt Teil 2 direkt morgen raus auf jeden Fall. Das würde mich freuen. Und wenn ihr es noch nicht getan habt, könnt ihr bitte mal den Abo-Button eins auf die Fresse geben und die Glocke aktivieren. Da werdet ihr benachrichtigt, wenn ich ein weiteres Video hochlade. Das würde mich freuen. Dann würde ich sagen, sehen wir uns im nächsten Video wieder. Bis dahin, ciao!